Hello guys and gals, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online beta. Basically, if you don't know, the beta is actually online. Even as of doing this VO, the beta is online. I got access to it, they sent a code, and here we are, the Elder Scrolls Online. This game took about 40 to 50 gigabytes, I believe, on my drive. And here it is. There's a character selection screen. And, I'm just going to be giving you an overview of it. It's going to be a long video, so, So basically, you got all your alliances, you got your races, and, first things first, I'll show you, your character's models are actually really good. The game is very impressive, as you'll see later on. And they've pretty much got all the classes and races here. The only thing's missing is the Imperial. Now over here you see these settings. It's 1920 by 1080. Everything is maxed out on this rig, and it's running at around 90 frames per second. It does dip all the way down to like 40, I think even like 28 at one point, but then again it is a beta, so don't fret. So you can preview your gear, you can look through all your character classes, yada yada yada. Imperial's blocked off, you'll have access to that in the collector's edition, but the whole idea of this video really is to see if there's a reason why this game should be purchased as an MMO, and why it can't be single player. So we'll flip through it, and of course it's set in the second era of the Elder Scrolls lore. And other than that, it's a decent looking game. It's got a bunch of content, as you're seeing right now, and you can pretty much pick any class you want. Again, in that row, you can only pick those 3 races for that alliance. Imperial is the only race that can go into all alliances, I believe. And the music is, as Elder Scrolls music is, really good. So over here you'll actually see me look through all the classes. You got your High Elves, here's the males and females, here's the Wood Elf, male and female, Khajiit, and I believe when you pick the character and when you go to Tamriel for the first time, it's actually, it actually throws you into their respective lands. But yeah, Imperial I'm trying to click on, but I can't. And here's the Dark Elf, males and females, so they're pretty respective to the lore of the moment, which is really nice. Good touch. It's definitely very... This MMO definitely has a high production value to it. So right over here, you're looking at the class. You got your Sorcerers, which is your Mage class. You got the Dragon Knight, which is the magic/physical class over here. It's the combination. And here's the Nightblade, which is the stealth class. Stealth, DPS, rogue, if you will, and the Templar is the, light. He's the soldier/light character. So over here on this in this character creation, I'll pick the Shadow and the Stealth class, because that's usually what I play in an Elder Scrolls title. And you can pretty much just change sliders around to properly anoint your character. Height, body weight, body type, skin colors, age, all that stuff. I don't understand what the padlock is for, really, but we'll see. Yeah, you can change your body markings around, too. So, a lot of care and attention has been given. Now over here you're seeing me pick some voices, voice A, B, C, D, E, F. Again, these are just little grunts and everything too, so nothing to really fret about over, so just pick one and get it over with. Some of these were a little questionable. That one I didn't really like. And then you can pick your hairstyles and all that, your age and you can pretty much pick anything here, so it's a very in-depth class creator, which is really nice. So in a bit you'll see me just switch over to the actual game right here, and in Elder Scrolls fashion, prison time, escape from it. And again, it's a very beautiful looking game. And the first character here is the Prophet. So this game does have a really nice, of course it has a story to it. But again, at the same time, me feeling personally, it doesn't really change itself from... it doesn't really specify that this should be an MMO. For the most part, it feels like it could be a single-player game.
You cannot hope to see its pattern in its entirety. Not yet. You must rescue me, and I, in turn, must rescue you. You must escape from this cell, take up arms, and protect yourself. Then find Lyris Titan.
You there! We are escaping. Let me open your door. That's it. Quickly! You must escape before the guards return.
Alright, so here we're going to escape. Choose weapons. Now, I initially thought these were other characters running around with us, but they're not. They're just random NPCs who I think actually help you fight as well. But yeah, this game looks nice. You can't really open these cell doors or anything, so they're just like blocked off, which I don't know why they did that. You know. But we're escaping over here. Again, the visuals are amazing. The technicalities for this MMO are just stunning. I mean, this is pretty much the prettiest looking MMO I've seen. And in general, when you look at it as a whole, it is one of the most beautiful looking, games artistically. Now, of course, you see some shortcomings here. The chains are all 2D, but, whatever. We don't always play these games for the visuals, but they really do help here, in setting the mood. And over here, we're picking some weapons, so you can pretty much pick whatever you want. You can only pick one. I tried picking, actually, the bow and the twin axis because of my rogue class, but I'm going to go look through all of them. So you got your staffs, your maces, your bows, your swords and shields, your everything. So you take one item over here. Now, one of the really finicky things about it too is that it creates this little like cliched like pick up items menu, which I just wish it stuck to the older Elder Scrolls style. Now this is the menus over here. This is the inventory menu, and around over here we're going to equip the weapon. So it's the cast of iron axe, cast off, and you can do a lot to it, enchanting it, destroying it, and we're just going to put weapons on. You can even just drag and drop them as well, and continue to escape. Yeah, here's the drag and drop. And just proceed on. So yeah, here's some frame rate issue over here too, but that was, I think that might have just been a recording issue, because this part was definitely not lagging. And on the top left you can see a level indicator. So this game uses an XP system, but you can also boost up your levels just by using these abilities, which you'll see later on. So here I'm going to unlock an ability. A weapon ability, I believe, actually. You got your racial classes here, so these are exclusive to your race. And you got these crafting skills, which, I think as you keep on using the item, it advances it in typical Elder Scrolls fashion. Now, of course, over here, there's a lot more. You can get your Alliance Wars, your mails. I mean, these are all just the different menus. They're really standard for an MMO. But, again, some of these features just feel like they could have been tacked onto a single-player Elder Scrolls game. They don't really have to be in... Oh, that guy just jumped forward. They don't have to be part of an MMO game. I mean, that doesn't really separate itself. Now, the load times are instantaneous. These are some of the enemies. So this is the first front of combat. And, as you can see, I'm really rocking this guy right over here. You fight him, you search his items, whatever, go through. And over here, I'm fighting a couple more. And we're going to pretty much proceed. And we actually leveled... No, we did not level up, actually, over there. Or no, we did. But I'm going to go through, I'm going to pick up some items. Now, these items are also soulbound as well, which if you don't know in MMO terms, basically if you use the item, it sticks to you forever. And these items affect you cosmetically and stat-wise, so they're pretty faithful to the Elder Scrolls game in its sense. There's another fight going on over here, and at the bottom you can actually see I unlocked one of the skills, the twin axe, I believe, which is a dual-wield skill, and the more you use it, the more that skill levels up. So it definitely forces you to go to that play style if you want to keep using it. Now, here I invited a party member, so it's actually really easy. You go to somebody, you hold F, and you pretty much get a radial menu, which will allow you to pick invite to group or friend or whatever. Now I'm fighting Atronax here pretty much, and it's just pretty much standard Elder Scrolls fighting going on. In fact, in a little sense, it's somewhat clunkier because of the online nature, because sometimes hits, it take a while to register, or something weird happens to the enemies, something along that lines. But this section over here is a very open-ended questing section right now, so the map is a little more wider in scope, and you have more objectives to you. And here's some of the stealth mechanics going on, and I one-hit this person too. And just a idea, stay away from the Atronachs once you attack them, because they tend to blow up and it's not good. Now over here, I think my party member attacked first. Now, you saw the little lag there as well, and my hits didn't register. So, you know, in a way, the combat is a little less effective than you would see in a, you know, obviously single-player experience, which is kind of counterintuitive to the whole thing. Now here's getting the chest and whatnot. You get lockpicks, you get, like, special items, some gold. And I don't know if this is loot shared, or if I'm just getting it. But I think I'm just getting it at the moment. So yeah, here we're going to go continue the game. And some of the stuff is, I believe it's all instance-based too. So these locations when you're doing the quest, it's an instance-based environment where I think only you're over there. You can see other characters like that person, but you can't see like their Lydias and whatnot. Or Lyris, sorry, I keep messing the name up. But you can't really see their characters. You know, so it's like pseudo-instanced, if you will. But at the same time, your character, you know, like Lyris, she'll actually help you fight along with other NPCs. So I don't know how they're going to work that, and I still have yet to really, you know, see the higher tier of Elder Scrolls. Now, I feel as though this is a game that, for an MMO, will keep you in for a very long time. But at the same time, too, it's, you know, as full as it is with content, it still does not separate itself from the single-player style, which has so, you know, become ingrained in Elder Scrolls. And here's the third-person camera, so it's just as effective. In fact, I actually like playing the game this way because you can traverse long distances and it feels really nice. These are other characters. And the cool thing is, everything here is voice-acted, just like Elder Scrolls, which is really awesome. There's a lot of care and attention that went into this game. What you saw was a glitch. It happens sometimes in the beta. You can't get past the dialogue.
And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then? Oh dear, well that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more of a scenic route. Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties.
I might tell you, the voice acting is really good, you know, once you hear it multiple times. You can definitely say a lot of care and attention is put into it, and I will pronounce her Lyris from now on.
Cautiously, I expect. Watch your step, hold your nose, and do mind the traps. There'll like as not be a fair dose of running and skull bashing as well. Follow the river. You'll find the door to the Undercroft at the water's end. Once you're inside, stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder that will take you right up to the Prophet straight away. Do give him my best. Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you?
Now, proceeding on, again, like I'm telling you guys, there is a story here, and like unlike other MMOs, and I know MMOs exist with a really intricate story, but this, when you play this, you can really feel that there is that story involved, and there, because of the voice acting and just the tone of everything too, and how like grandiose the environments are, it does set itself apart from, you know, something ingrained like World of Warcraft and whatnot. Like, this is a very story-rich MMO. All right, some games they have like just the standard text-based affair, which works, but not anywhere close to something that this is doing. So here we're going to try to locate the area, and you might see me bumbling around, but then you'll see what the map screen is very useful for in this game. And the map in this game is very huge. There's a lot of content, a lot of places to explore. I mean, just this place alone is really huge. But you'll see what I'm talking about. So there's flame Atronachs, and setting them aggro. It seems like it's very easy to not set them off.
Tamriel seems to think this Undercroft is a delight.
If you, in this MMO at least, because of the way it's structured versus the, you know, numbered series. So here's the next area. Now, again, the coolest thing about this is if you look at the load time, it's damn near instantaneous. You look at this load screen for a second, you go through. This game is not installed to an SSD. It's just installed to a standard hard drive. And I hope this kind of stuff carries over to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, which it should. Those are next generation systems. But yeah, in case you didn't know, this is played on the PC. As the beta, I believe, is only running on the PC. You know, if you didn't catch that from the beginning.
Insects fight back. How amusing, and yet so very sad.
And here you're gonna see one of the first bosses. So the whole like just the visuals of the game are impressive. But this is the first boss. Now it's not too difficult. I mean, it is a large boss, and it's really cool seeing it. But you know, in retrospect, now that I'm looking at it again, it's not really that intense. I mean, it's not doing much to me, and you can dodge it, but you know, not a whole lot is being affected here. I'm trying to use my skills, but my stamina's out entirely. But yeah, it is a very, very intense fight too. For at least the first one, it's a very nice looking fight, and you know, it falls over. And the cool thing is, it doesn't like actually disappear like some MMOs do. You know, or it does, but I just did not notice it. And so here's where we get the Sky Shard for the first time.
But first, you must reattune yourself to Nirn, in the shard of ethereal magicka that carries the essence of Nirn. Some link them to Lorcan, the missing god of creation. If you collect and absorb its power, it should restore your corporeal form. I will summon one of these shards for you to absorb.
Okay, so collect the Sky
Shard
Shard.
of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing. There, quickly, collect the Sky Shard.
So here we gather the Sky Shard, which is, you know, one of the many items that you can collect through the land of Tamriel. You know, and if you look through your achievements journal, as it's saying in the bottom right at the moment, you can pretty much collect these and get skill points. So there is as you explore, you'll discover these Sky Shards, which will allow you to advance just even further than the normal pace, which is really nice. I don't know if the skills are blocked off. You know, I don't think the skills are blocked off on a level basis. I think it's just a skill point kind of affair. Now, here we're using the Rift to go to Tamriel, and here we are right in Tamriel. Game looks beautiful. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, this game is very pretty. MMO standards aside, very good looking title.
I am in a city near the sea, in a land of eternal spring. The air smells of the ocean and of markets and gardens. The voyage between worlds was both chaotic and violent. It deposited us in Tamriel at some distance. For the time being, your journey must continue without me. Venture outside, explore this new place, and learn what you can. Expose the agents of Moloch.
So pretty much the story at this point is we're going to meet up with the Prophet as you're, you know, focusing along. Again, I have to admit, the ability of having voice acting really makes a difference in these whole quests. It pulls me more in. Now here we got the quest completion menus. You get some items, gold, skill points, yada yada yada, the whole enchilada. So gained 1 skill point, and you know, here you'll see me spend again. And you can upgrade these skills too. I didn't do it yet. I'm gonna sort of save that for later when I'm doing an off-screen kind of gaming session on this. But yeah, you can do that. This is pretty much the same level up system as any other Elder Scrolls game at the moment. I mean, it's more in tune with Skyrim really, but it is that same level up system. So it is really good in that regard. I got to give it that. You know, it's very faithful to what Elder Scrolls is about. But at the same time, that question will remain: will this is this supposed to be the MMO that we are constantly going for? Now, what you're going to see is me trying to get some quests. Any NPC with the black arrow pointing down like that has a quest, as far as I've noticed. You can get these quests for extra experience points. Some of them are main quests, some of them are side quests. You know, standard stuff. So here we got Storm in the Horizon. It plays like Skyrim. I mean, if you played the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim and you've played this, you can see that there's a lot of gameplay similarities. You know, this game in a sense feels like just this huge expansion to that game at the moment, except, you know, at this point you've got multiple characters traversing the land on its own. You know, and the engine here does support both amazing visuals and tons of players, you know, on screen at the same time. Now, throughout this whole affair, you'll see that there's not a whole lot of characters you'll see, so I don't know if they section them off into, like, different realms, kind of. But, you know, I think that's what they're going for. And this is one of our new friends, Razun Dar, Khajiit. Again, voice acting for everyone. Beautiful, even side NPCs. And around over here, we're going to go traverse the land even more. So, you know, this is why the loading is really instantaneous, because some of these ledges you can just jump over versus going through the doors. Now, again, one of the issues that I have seen is a pathfinding issue, at least with this first quest, where it just makes me keep going back and forth in a door. And it's not like it's the first time I've seen this gone from an Elder Scrolls title. You know, I've seen it happen quite a fair bit. And I'm trying to invite people to my parties, and this person joins, which is really cool. And we're about to go around. We're getting into a fight here. And there are a very diverse range of enemies. You'll see me use this new skill, the Assassin's Blade, which is a class-specific skill. And as you see, those skills increase as you use them. So the playstyles, in order to reach that playstyle, you got to build up onto it versus, you know, MMOs where it's like you can invest skill points and experience into them, but you don't have to use the ability. Now again, this is another sign of the graphics too. You've got amazing textures, you've got these nice god rays, you've got enemies populating the place. It is the best Elder Scrolls, you know, game visually, as far as I can see, you know, versus having any mods, you know, as we look at a vanilla title on its own. So a lot of care and attention has been put in, a lot, and I gotta give it that. So you're seeing me traverse around. There's another character that I'm going to go get a side mission from. But at the end of the day, you know, as we close this video down, there is nothing in my eyes that really separates this. You know, there's nothing that shows me that, you know, I'll spend $60 on this game. But I don't feel that I should spend $15 a month for this game because it feels to me like it could still be a single-player Elder Scrolls game. And I am a huge Elder Scrolls fan, don't get me wrong there. But I do feel that this game is really just it's really a single-player Elder Scrolls title. It's got a good lore. It's got, you know, good stories. It's got nice quests. The quests aren't as, you know, mundane as go find 10 bugs or something. I mean, they have elements of that, but not as mundane. So for that, it's a really nice looking title. I believe it has a lot of content, but I just can't fathom seeing players initially drop $75 to, I think it's like up to $100 something if you get the collector's editions. So for me personally, I feel like this game needs to do a lot more to set itself into an MMO world rather than just give me sort of an extended single-player Elder Scrolls experience as it is right now, at least to me, but except put more people in. So that's what I really think. Tell me if you think otherwise. Are you excited for this game or are you not? This is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. I am out.